모든 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we are on Shakuras Plateau, and in the red at the top left part of the map, trying to get a win again for his team. Go up 3-0. It is StarTale Ace. And down to the bottom right part of the map, in the teal. You ever notice how the Terrans have this habit of picking teal? I don't know. I've just noticed that lately.
You're right, though.
It's something for some reason they like to do that. But anyway, it is former GSL Super Tournament champion TSL.Polt.
All right, well, here we are, another PBT action now on Shakuras Plateau. And, you know, as we mentioned before, StarTale's looking good right now. They've sent in Ace, but they've still got players like Curious and Parting and Bomber, and et cetera, sitting on the sidelines right now. So Ace certainly getting them off to a strong start. A lot of people would consider Polt's the strongest player on TSL, and if he were to go down, that would be a huge mental blow more than anything else, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, anytime your team goes down 3-0 in a team league situation, you are going to be starting to worry a little bit. And Ace traditionally has been a player that's performed better in team league situations than he has in the individual one-on-one matches, which is interesting because, in general, the StarTale players are better one-on-one individual league players than team league players. But Ace has always been kind of outside the box a bit. You know, he likes to get in there, get some wins, do some celebrations. I'm certain he was like hip thrusting in the StarTale house after getting that win, but one can only imagine.
Yeah, but, you know, Ace was one of those players. I mean, you think of other players like Squirtle. Initially, it was MMA you could have thrown in there as well that were strong team league players. It was good to see someone like MMA break out of that, though, and really find themselves as a 1v1 player.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of waiting for the next generation of team league players to kind of make that jump as well.
Yeah, we are in one of those kind of generational gaps in StarCraft 2 right now, where some of the people that were dominant are starting to kind of phase out, and some of the people that were generally considered bad are starting to kind of come up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple months with that.
Certainly, and we'll see you know, the continued involvement of Korean teams in Western leagues as well. Of course, we've got IPL 4s. We're going to hear some more information about that very soon, guys.
We
so
promise.
Hold on to your hats. Info will be coming soon.
Trust me, it's killing us, too.
It is. It really is, actually. Bye-bye, Probe.
Yep. All right, so one racks expand for TSL.Polt, it looks like. Skipping the gas for now, getting that faster command center. He's going to put it right there on the low ground. And we'll have to see now if he decides to go up to 3 barracks, or if he decides to do like the 4 barracks powering build that we've seen a lot of Terrans do, or possibly a quick double gas into Banshee. There's just so many options right now in builds in StarCraft 2. I love watching it. I love watching StarCraft 2 more than I ever have before at this point.
Oh,
keeps getting better.
That's awesome, though. It really is, though.
True.
I just love, too, that we're not overly reliant. You know, as the game progresses, we're getting out of those, you know, one-base builds, quick aggression, just relying on timings, and we're seeing a lot of awesome late-game macro that's just inventive and fun to watch. And there's double gas after 3 racks now for Polt, so he'll be able to move into upgrades or medevacs or ghosts very soon. Ace, on the other hand, just 2 gates in his cybernetics core for now. He did decide, of course, to Nexus first.
Yes, that's right. So with those 2 gates, probably going to see him maybe throw down a Robo or something like that before some more gateways. Pretty common way to just kind of stay safe. And if your opponent, you know, if their bunker's a little bit late, if they are a little bit low on units, you can kind of punish that sometimes with the 2 gateways. But Polt, you can see just how methodical he is. You know, look at that Marine. They're all, except for the one on the outside. He's like the bad kid in school, but all the other ones are lined up very nicely.
Yeah. But you know what? You mentioned waiting on their bunkers, and that is exactly what Polt has done.
Yeah, there's 2 Stalkers coming across the map. That can be a little bit tough to handle for some Marines. Okay, Polt does see it. So he's going to throw down a bunker, I'm sure, in a moment here.
Well, let's see. Does he have an SUV at the front?
No. Well, he does have a good amount of Marines. I mean, if he stutter steps well, you know, yeah, he can push away the Stalkers for a little while anyway, but there is that Zealot there as well.
All right, well, Ace trying to make his way up. The Zealot's going to go down right away. Now there's just a couple of Stalkers left, and, of course, with the advantage of the high ground of the ramp here, it's going to be very difficult for Ace to try and push his way up.
Yep. Polt does have extremely good unit control, too, so I'm not surprised at all that he feels confident about doing this type of thing.
And he does have Stimpak coming up first of all. No real surprise there after the expansion. Continuing with his Marine and Marauder production. His opponent, on the other hand, Ace, Has he added in any additional gateways? Yes, one more gateway, then went into a robo after that, and his warp gate technology is going to finish here momentarily, so he'll be producing off quite a few structures as well.
Yep. Right now, Ace really wants to know what's going on inside his opponent's base. He has no idea. He has not been able to get in and really see anything. You know, he kind of has a pretty good guess that he fast expanded, but he doesn't know. I mean, did Polt take gas early on? Did he take 2 gas early on?
You know, and Polt's one of those players who could throw in something very, very, very aggressive in there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely one of the guys who has a lot of builds he can pull out. Yep.
And let's see here, as Bunker finishing up at the front now. So Supply Depot, Bunker, Wall. Ace is taking pretty good map control. Structures, units, basically everywhere, and be able to warp in at the front pretty easily as well. And it looks like, I believe his observer has popped out now. Indeed it has. Scan goes down to just see a couple of sentries up at the front.
Yeah, that should clue in Polt that something's going on here, too. He's like, all right, you only have 3 sentries at the front. He's like, you must be either teching really hard or about to be attacking me without your sentries for some reason. So Polt gets some good information out of that scan despite not seeing a whole lot.
You know, he moved over to the side. Yeah.
Yep, looking for pylons. Doesn't want to get something warped up on the high ground. And the observer, though, is going to come in and get a good scout, it looks like.
Gets a great look around, sees basically everything. A missile turret up at the front actually being thrown down just as he moves away. Oh, great read, though, by Polt. Picks off that observer, denies further vision from Ace.
Yeah. Kind of see it. See the shimmer above your mineral line if you're looking carefully. And double forge on the way for Ace, so he's going to play a very sort of methodical, very Creator Prime-esque style here. He's just going to sit back, get his upgrades really quickly, get all the other sort of tertiary upgrades like Blink, like Charge, and just develop this very, very strong army on 3 bases here. We'll probably try to see him take a third here in probably just a minute or 2.
This map control, though, is getting to be so good for Ace. I mean, he's just establishing his will right now. Polt, he's been kind of contained in at the moment. He does have Medivacs joining this army now with +1 weapons on the way, but 1-1 is already well up for Ace at the moment.
Oh, okay, look at that. Trying to stim and catch that Stalker. Oh, but he doesn't quite get it.
Yeah. Stalker manages to run away.
Oh, he doesn't have concussive shell anyway.
Yeah, so a little bit of damage suffered to those Marauders.
Yeah, a little bit.
And let's see here now as 1-1's just about to finish up for Ace along with Blink as well. And Ace has got a pretty good read on what his opponent has now. Sees the additional barracks and the command center coming down at the moment. Polt moving out though, and he does have that factory which will be able to give him vision on the high ground as well as look around and just generally look cool as he attacks.
Yep, now we're probably going to see those Marauders kind of shuffled to the front a little bit before he attacks. Oh, he might actually just decide to just jump into the main with the Medivacs or just use the low ground vision.
Yeah, should be able to fire up there and pick off a couple of Stalkers, or at least push them back a little bit.
Yep, that's right. And right now, I mean, I think when Polt moved out, he was kind of assuming that he would go and see if he could get a cancel on a 3rd base. But, you know, as we can see here, yeah, he's heading down to the 3rd now. There is no 3rd base for Ace quite yet. And stimming up there, he's really expecting a Nexus to be here, I think. And he's like, oh, no Nexus. All right.
Well, I'm trying to see what he's seen out of his opponent, because we can tell from the caster's chair that there's a Robo Bay that just sat down with Thermal Lance on the way, and 2 more gateways. He's going to be on, what, 7 gates and a Robo Bay, all off of just 2 bays.
This could end up being kind of, I don't know, it's not going to be any sort of big 2-base all-in from Ace. I think he would prefer to take a 3rd and just play this kind of slow and safe, but Polt just moving out at such a good time, Ace not able to take a 3rd. You can see his minerals are a little bit high, too. 400 of that should be a Nexus right now.
Yeah, let's see here, though, if Polt's going to allow that to happen. Looks like he will lose the factory. Gets a pretty decent read on the units that are on the field, but, of course, importantly, it doesn't see the Robo Bay, the double forges, the tech, any of that, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what Polt can kind of learn from what he's seen so far is that Ace is either doing some sort of really, really big 2-base timing and teching a lot, or he's going for a very heavy upgrade composition here, too. But Polt taking a 3rd.
Yeah, Armory is finished for him as well, so we'll be able to move into some good upgrades here in a bit. Yep. So already got a couple of Vikings, though. Did he just scan? No, just assuming right now and preparing for Colossi.
Yeah, he's just going to try to make some educated guesses, and it looks like, yeah, Ace decided to take his 3rd at the pocket location there.
And he did just kill that Marine with the Colossi, so they are officially revealed now.
Yep.
And let's see, 2-2 just finishing up for Ace, though, really powering ahead with those upgrades.
Yeah, if Polt engages this right now, he might be in a bit of trouble here. He needs to be very, very careful. Oh, he's just barely outside of force field range. Oh, I don't know if this is the best engagement for Polt. Swinging it from two sides, though.
Yeah, he's trying to do as much damage as he can as he continues to filter around those force fields, but the force fields did a nice job of actually holding him back for the time being.
Yeah.
Those upgrades are finished for Ace, so he is sitting on 2-2 at the moment. Polt, though, didn't take that many losses in that engagement.
No, that actually worked out pretty well for him. I was expecting things to get a little bit bad there, but the units coming from the bottom really scared Ace away. That was a pretty good situation there for Polt, but he needs to play this next couple minutes very, very carefully.
Don't believe we have a Ghost Academy down either, as a matter of fact. I was looking for one of those. Ace just continuing to chase those units away. Polt then comes back and stims at the last second, so we can pick off a couple of Zealots there. And does he still not have... Okay, he does have Concussive Shell now. All right.
Yeah.
Been a while since he had researched that. Oh, it looks like we have a big drop in the main at the same time, though. We'll see how many forces that actually pulls back from Ace now. The Marauders crashing their way through. They are pretty well upgraded with +2 weapons on the way, but there's a bunch of charge lots of the bane of the Marauder existence.
Yeah, Polt not really microing that all that well. He's going to lose everything there. That was an expensive drop to lose without doing a lot of damage. I mean, he basically killed a pylon and singed a gateway, but he might get a third base in response. Can Ace get back in time? Oh, yeah, no problem there.
Yeah, Ace moving back with the Colossi sitting behind as well, able to power his way up there. Start dealing out some splash damage as well. Vikings going to sit on the high ground here. We'll see if they can actually start to turn the tide a little bit and pick away at these Colossi, because so much damage is being done to the front line of Marines. If you look at that, virtually all of the Marines have gone down and just a handful of Marauders left.
It almost looks like Polt is kind of doing what Terrans used to do in TVP, which is basically just Marauder Viking, Marauder Medevac Viking back in the old days. But in this case, he's just going to have to play pretty amazing defense if he wants to live through this. He's in a bit of trouble here. But here's the thing with Polt. I mean, I really wonder what he was doing when that drop happened, because he just did not micro that well at all. I mean, he didn't really target anything of value. He didn't try to move through his opponent's base and see what he had. Really, really puzzled by the way Polt handled that drop.
Yeah, well, let's see. A couple more gateways on the Templar Archives coming up now. Polt, he is moving to +3 weapons, but his opponent's married to finish up 3-3 right now. And with that very high tech coming up, yeah, you're right. Polt is going to have to play some pretty miraculous defense. He does not have another base coming up at the moment, and he's mining very low on his main. He's still got a decent supply advantages. He continues to reinforce very well and established himself a nice infrastructure at the beginning of this game. But Ace, he's just got such strong units on the field right now.
Well, he is catching up in upgrades, too, which is the big thing that's going to really help him at this point. He's even getting flyer attacks now. But as we can see from the mini-map, Ace just has pylons all over the place, too, so it's going to be very hard for Polt to expand in an easy fashion. I mean, he can still do it, but he's going to need to pay a lot more attention to everything this time.
Now, Polt still does not have a Ghost Academy, I believe, which is a little surprising, especially now as Templar are hitting the field, and once those caster units come out for Ace, or as we can see, turning them into Archons at the moment, that's quite a problem for Polt. Polt actually sneaking up now, decides he wants to go for it. The Zealots are filtering their way over to the right-hand side, so he has a pretty good two-pronged attack, and he's dealing with the Zealots off to the right, but he's getting crushed on the left-hand side.
Interesting. Oh, nice flank from those Marauders on the side, and is he going to be able to take down some Colossi? He is. Wow, really good multitasking from Polt, but it just looks like it barely was enough.
I don't know, man. That was actually really crazy. Both players really just kind of slugging it out right there, as both armies did get hit pretty significantly there. There's another stim from Polt. He doesn't have a lot of medevacs behind this. Now there are new Colossi behind as well. One goes down. Charge lots don't look like they can make up, and every time I look up at the end of one of these fights, the supplies are so close to each other.
Yeah, well, Polt is just playing a very heavy powering style. He's saying, I'm not really going to worry about ghosts until now. You know, he's putting the Ghost Academy down now, but he's just like, with a big map like this, I'm pretty sure I can just make Marauders and Marines and just outmaneuver you. And so far, he's been trading pretty efficiently. However, Ace has his fourth going. He's keeping even with Polt. He's denying Polt's fourth, as we can see here.
Yeah, and pulling that army out of position, so we see Ace moving his units down to the bottom left as well, and it looks like he may be thinking about striking the third.
And he needs to be careful about that, because his army is not terribly big right now.
It's really not, but Polt doesn't have anything back at home.
Yeah, that command center is in trouble. The SCVs, most of them getting away. That's a nice little win there. for Polt, and Ace pulls back. All right.
Yeah, well, Polt didn't take too much damage from that, and he will be able to drop down his 4th here in just a second, as the Zealots will die momentarily.
Yep.
We have 3-2 upgrades now for Polt, so he's adding in +3. Oh, looks like that army coming back from Ace, actually, at the moment. But have we seen any ghosts yet still? Nope, no ghosts.
He has the ability to make them now, but he has not decided to do that quite yet.
Yeah.
Going for a drop, it looks like here, too, although I think he loaded those up right in front of the pylon, but who knows, Ace might not have seen it.
Well, we'll find out. Ace has got enough pylons, though. It looks like he's going to actually capture that attack path, or actually check the flight path of his opponent.
Yep.
Oh, here comes a big attack from Ace. Polt's got quite a few units prepared as well. Of course, the Archons are very, very strong without any EMPs hitting them. The charge lots are very well upgraded with the shields upgrade as well. Running off to the right-hand side, and Polt just got decimated.
Yeah, I mean, so many Archons. The upgrades were so good for Ace. The Colossi in the back end is sealing the deal. The drop from Polt just landed in the main base. There it is, but I don't know how much damage he's going to be able to do.
All right.
He's killing the Templar Archives. It's nice to take out tech, but he needs to do a ton of damage with this drop.
And already the units are starting to filter back for Ace, as a couple of pylons have gone down. The Templar Archives went down, but, you know, it looks like he will actually neutralize a good bit of production. But look at the army that's just running through his front door.
Yeah, he just can't handle it right now. I don't think he has the units to take this out. We'll see. He might be able to stall him at the ramp. That's not bad, really. But with no bunkers, I mean, those units are going to take so much damage from the Archons. Yeah. Stalker's blinking up.
Stalkers are blinking up. The Colossi ranging from the low ground as well. The drop still has not been 100% dealt with, but it doesn't matter because there's GG, and Ace has now killed 3 members of TSL in a row.
Yeah, man. I mean, he is the ace today for StarTale.